Hello, my precious wandering souls. Welcome back to Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Prosecutor's Gambit. Last episode we started a new case. We started Turnabout Legacy. We are playing as Miles' dad. We're playing as Gregory Edgeworth. Our client, it's I forgot the name of the thing. He makes desserts for TV apparently, and police found a body inside of one of his creations, and we're trying to figure out what happened. So we are going to talk to Detective Bad, a younger Detective Bad. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so we have to interrogate Mr. Detective Bad. Why I think Tangaroo did it. If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroo would have been the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he smashed in the lid, of the treasure chest, so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was found finding the body. Anyway, that's what my thinking of this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney? Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroo who damaged the other pieces in this room? Yup. I know you have to believe your client, that's your job, but I am a detective, and I serve the law. And no matter how squeaky clean somebody might seem, a suspect is still a suspect. I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own? Do your worst. Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. So, I kinda have an idea. And I'm not about to just accept his version of events. In fact, I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims. I think will be the obvious suspect. He didn't lock his room. He's smashing the lid of the treasure chest. They were supposed to gather when the judge is finishing up. Maybe here? Maybe here? Maybe here? I'm not sure.
Objection!
Oh, that's not what I expected Gregory Edgeworth's voice to sound like. We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Miss Vaughn only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing. Sure, Seems likely, based on the evidence. And yet, you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroo, I don't know, who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Vaughn had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroo, who was out judging the contest at the time. Hold it. I never said he did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand, so it collapsed when he was in the middle of judging.
Objection.
Have you any way of proving that assertion? Nope, but the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time. So he doesn't have anything conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room besides those of Mr. Tangaroo? Yup, on the door. Oh, whose prints? But we found Tangaroo's and Frost's prints on there too. The victim and our client. Oh, I forgot about this guy. We were all brought here for a briefing, right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroo's works for prints yet. Why would... We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so. Fine, but if we don't find anything, your guy's still top of my list. Got it? You, check all of this chocolate stuff for prints, now!
Yes, sir, right away! Detective Bud, we finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroo, sir.
Go on. Whose?
Delicia Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants.
Oh, we heard about her, but I don't think we've met her. Good work. You can go back to wherever you were investigating before.
Yes, sir.
So it seems we have a suspect beside Mr. Tangaroo. Even without your loyal input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself. Delicia Scone, Mr. Gusto mentioned her too. He said that she was ruthless, that she'd do anything to win.
This Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Mr. E?
Yes, I think we'd better try to speak with her ourselves as well.
Okay.
Detective Bud, would you mind if we accompanied you? Babysitting you is not my job.
How old are you?
42. And Edgeworth is 30-something. 35, I think.
Come on!
But I guess you did pick up a couple of useful clues already. So if you wanna tag along, be my guest. Thank you, Detective. You're too kind.
Oh. I just realized that when Fender does the hard thing is because of Gregory. But Detective Bud, sir! I don't think that's such a good idea. The lead prosecutor is still busy in there.
Oh, who is the lead prosecutor? It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow.
Who is the lead prosecutor?
Who is this him? Who did I assign the case to?
Oh!
Manfred von Karma.
I get to voice Von Karma again. Yippee! What? They gave it to Von Karma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years. And by the time we start playing as Phoenix, it's 40 years. So we kinda know how this case goes. We're going to lose.
Manfred von Karma, a living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories.
Oh, I don't know why. For some reason I thought they had faced each other before.
They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict.
That's the Von Karma way.
But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only continue to do what I believe is right.
Okay. But you started! Okay, never mind. I'm continuing. Yes. Okay. We continue. Do we get to see Von Karma? Is that Miss Scone? December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Scone's room. Whoa! A candy castle! And look! There are even some little elves to go with it. Woo!
Rooms laid out, pretty much the same as Tangaro's.
It's not as cold though, that's something.
Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel there.
Oh yeah. Right there.
Over there, where that...
Oh, over there where that orange light is, right?
We'd better take a closer look at it when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicia Scone. Where is Miss Scone?
I see her, she's right there. Me? I don't know what voice to give her yet. Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie. I don't know what voice to give her yet. She doesn't look that intimidating to me. Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicious Scone at your service. Some cheeky players back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious.
Called a lovely boy at 34. Unexpected, to say the least.
34? I thought... Ah, so Edgeworth outlived him. Ah, pain. Lovely boys? Really? Even Mr. E? Oh yes, dear. You, the detective over there. You're all lovely boys to be.
I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bat. I wonder just how old she is. Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney.
Okay.
Yes, alright.
Oh! What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense. Hey! Mr. Edgeworth, some scary guy just stepped out of the castle. He was inside the castle?
Von Karma.
What? He's Manfred von Karma? Sorry, mannequins?
The notorious prosecutor Von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law.
I couldn't care less what your name is. You look exactly the same. Your job is to lose to me and disappear, never to show your sniveling face again.
What a thoroughly rude individual.
Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow. You're even scarier than they say.
And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We were hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma.
Ha! And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy?
This clearly isn't going to be easy.
So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it.
Why the sudden change of heart?
You, the tall fellow.
Name's bad. Is that so hard to remember?
I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lovely detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. But see to it that these worms don't step out of line.
Why do I have to?
I am not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusta's room. Good day.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Great. More babysitting. Why aren't Detective Bud and Mr. Von Karma investigating together?
Oh yeah, that's true. Usually detectives and prosecutors work together.
They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be bad blood between them.
Oh, that's weird. Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it.
Indeed, I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much. Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either.
Okay, so you can help us investigate.
You're messing it up. Before I get my chance, you'll have to wait till I'm done.
Huh? But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet?
Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me.
Who?
Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did. Oh, that answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose.
So there's another detective, I suppose?
What say we look over the room together, detective? It worked out well enough before. Then you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney asks to have a detective breathing down his neck? Guess I'm stuck with you. For a little while longer.
Yes! You're amazing, Mr. E!
You have our thanks, Detective Bud. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course, we understand. Now, shall we begin?
Okay. Begin investigation. Can I talk to you? Oh. What's the matter, Miss Cone? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago.
Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two?
Why, yes. Nothing happened at all. But you just said yes. That was a hello, yes, you silly boy. Aren't you just the sweetest little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was your name again? Oh, Eddie. Eddie Lumpkin. Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin?
It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment.
She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E.
Never mind that now. We should ask her a few questions while we can.
Okay, let's talk to you. During the contest,
Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest?
Of course, dearie. Let's see. It all started at about 10 in the morning. That's when we set to work. And, well, I spent most of the time here in my room, getting everything ready as you'd expect. Oh, and then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think?
Afternoon tea is an English tradition. A chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk. So...
kinda like recess.
I suppose you could say that.
Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Peglet? Such a clever boy.
When did I become Greggy?
That's so weird.
And where was this afternoon tea served?
Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. They do it all the time, at the same hour every break time during the contest. Lay on a nice spread, you know. But today, only me, Samson Sillypants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Who and who? Oh, okay. Orkayan and the other lady. Oh. Sammy Poople had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. But poor old Chili Wigs and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished them, bless them. So the victim and the guy with the sugar thingy.
You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was present, sorry.
That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our two TV superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished, though. To love, while the others were still nattering away.
And at any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms?
Well, no, dear. Don't be silly.
That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaro's room.
Caught red-handed.
Wait, so you admit you were there?
Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I'd better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear? You're looking more and more suspicious now.
What really happened? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaro's room?
Well, I suppose you'd call it research.
Research.
Sammy Poople's an adept hand when it comes to the old suit making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed that there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say. Confectionery research. Scum visited another contestant's room in the name of research.
What kind of research leaves fingerprints?
Yes, it stands to reason I leave fingerprints, doesn't it? You can conduct research without touching anything. After all, it's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? You went there and you started eating stuff, I see. What? You ate little pieces of them?
So, the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaro's room. That was all you.
I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset, so It was just the teensiest bits and pieces.
Huh. And the stand holding up the ship. You took a bite out of that too, I suppose.
Oh yes, dear, of course I did.
It was you. You brought the whole thing crashing down.
I'm sorry, my lovely. Truly I am.
Hold on. Is that why you left the afternoon tea early?
Because you wanted to eat stuff from his room?
You were heading off for a second helping of sweets?
Look, just please believe me. I never killed anybody, I promise.
Her actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now. Oh, maybe I have to investigate more? I thought we'd had more things to... Okay, that's fine. Maybe... this thing? There's a small door on the wall here, just like Mr. Tangaro's room. Here, I'll open it. Temperature 68 degrees. I'll put the conversion in post, I guess. Light set to green. Didn't Gusto say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees. Temperature in here is too high. High temperature. The temperature of Scone's room isn't suitable for whipped cream. That is odd. I wonder why.
Can I go inside? No? Okay.
It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle is made out of sugar and cream.
I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something.
I didn't know you were so into such fantastical things.
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get so carried away there.
Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you.
Little Edgy was already an old man at age 9.
You have a son, Mr. E? I do. He's still in elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale.
Nerd!
I can't help but worry that his interest will make it hard for him to make friends.
Oh, he'll have friends.
Don't say that. He sounds super interesting. He'll make a ton of friends, me included, I'm sure.
Oh.
I like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie.
A big brother, huh? Stop eating paper, that's so weird. Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously.
Indeed. Then, with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
What are these?
The doors of the castle had been left wide open.
Yeah, was the guy born in a barn? He could have at least closed them behind him.
I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face, Eddie.
Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see.
Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Cream's going all runny.
Runny cream. The whipped cream is melting and will lose its shape at the slightest touch.
is all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle? Alright, tell me what you want me to look at first. These things? Two big rock crystals. Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage. Kinda expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know! Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. And maybe this whole thing is based on a story about a castle with a priceless treasure hidden inside. I think I treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. There's something on the bottom of them. Ah, I understand now. Looks like a little stand or something. Rock crystal stands. For some reason, there are stands mounted on the bottom of the rock crystals we found inside the candy castle. Ah, okay. I was right. They are gemstones. The stands must be so they can be put on display. Well, whatever they are, it seems they're not just a large set of paperweights. But they are for the part on the front of the castle. They are for this part. Huh. These pillars. They have hexagonal indentations. That's where they fit, right? Looks like something's supposed to go in there. Well, whatever they were, they're long gone. No, they're right there. Hexagonal indentations, huh? I wonder. There are hexagonal indentations in both pillars. I wonder what they're for. For the rocks. Castles covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry. Eh? A giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom? Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing. I prefer bananas myself. Blueberries for me. So, Gregory likes blueberries. Like a certain future blue attorney that Minnie Edgeworth likes a lot. Maybe logic? Okay. Obviously, this and this. The rock crystal stands and the pillar in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon makes perfect sense. But if that's the case, then why were they being hidden inside the castle? And I think the high temperature and the runny cream, right? It's melting. The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet... When you opened the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy. That's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we'd better take another look at those handles, don't you? What the? I think it's safe to say those handles are made of candy. Wait a minute. Where's the rules? I will proceed with that.
Non-confectionery items may not be used as decorations. Stands and display materials will be provided. Huh.
It's not just the handles, the whole castle, the little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top.
Oh, she's a cheater! What? So none of this is confectionery art after all?
No, it's simply made to look like candy, with the cream having been added to lend it an air of authenticity.
Fake confections. Scone's confections were all fakes. What was she up to? Huh. We need to interrogate her. Blue!
There's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether. Well, they certainly aren't made of candy. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in here. And I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before. The rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle. I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone. Miss Scone? What were you using the items inside the castle for?
Oh, those? Sorry, Lumpkin, but I'm not allowed to say.
Let me guess. Karma?
How did you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. You have my guts for garters. But you're cheating. You're cheating.
It seems the prosecution really has no intention of sharing anything with the defense.
Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but... Was that theory? You're interested in my little trinkets?
Your trinkets?
Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed.
Huh? You use rock crystals and cloths to do that?
I do. It's wonderful. You should see it. And they're just not any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside them. Huh. Wow, those things are lamps? Oh, that's not even the half of it. Those clouds hold an even more exciting secret.
Huh? She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets.
Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic, huh? Oh, Buddy Pumpkin, can't you get it all out and set it up for me?
The name is Bath.
Is that a no? Why are you being so selfish, Buddy Pumpkin? Just do it.
You! Have you finished taking photos of this room yet?
Yes, sir! We have, sir!
Then help Miss Cone here with something, will you?
Yes, sir! Right away, sir! Oh, you are a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Buddy B? That's amazing, Miss Cone! You got him to do exactly what you wanted! That's some talent! Okay. Thank you ever so much, Buddykins! And you, Officer Lovely! She's even giving nicknames to the forensic guys now!
I guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about this? Supposed to be relaxing, exactly.
Oh, don't be a big sourpuss, Buddy B. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now. Yes, ma'am. Whoa.
Huh.
Whoa, it's beautiful.
It is. I wish my son were here to see it.
Every time he mentions Miles, my heart breaks a little more. Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? The four adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen? One of the elves must be feeling a little left out. Oh yeah. This is how it was supposed to look for the contest. But I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least. Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too? Ah. Oh, what's happened there, I wonder? I think we'd better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time. Okay. Oh! Oh, that's blood! The lamps appear to be broken. Gregory, the freaking blood! Bulbs are smashed. Both of them. Maybe they fell and broke on the floor? Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left. I don't think that's because it's broken. That's not just a stain. That's... Yep, it's blood alright. I can smell it. Bloody lamp. The salt lamp is stained with somebody's blood. Huh. What? But blood? Why is there blood on this lamp? Blunt force trauma. Could it have something to do with this? With why its bulb is broken? We'd better take a closer look at the other one too. Okay. So, Miss Cone had actually intended to use this lamp in her display. Then why were they stashed inside the castle? Maybe because they're broken? I think... Maybe because they don't comply with the rules of the contest. Except, there's plenty of other places she could have put them. The best place to hide some salt is in some sugar. Isn't that how it goes? Or perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in a forest. Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in her final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point it out by making a deduction. Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Yep. With the rules.
Eureka!
Eureka! Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, Detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would both have been against the rules. Scone's rule breaking. Scone used decorations that weren't made for confectionaries. And she was hiding them inside the castle. Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle? I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone, so before we can say for sure. Okay, before we do that, what about this thing? Why is this one the only one with no cloth? This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others. It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone. Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my clothes and one of my little machines went missing.
A cloth then? What sort of machine exactly?
Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to these little dingo-majigs. And they're called, full-spectrum light-emitting devices. They send light down the main cable and into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. Bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue like clinging crystals of ice. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all.
Forgive me, so these machines, they're
what make the special luminous cloth light up in all these beautiful colors, Mr. E.
I see. So much new technology, I can barely keep up. So these light-emitting devices, you lost one of them, and a piece of luminous cloth.
That's right, Lapkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got to.
This cloth, it could have something to do with the case.
There's a piece of blue cloth here. A special color changing cloth belonging to Scone. She has lost the roll of it, along with the device that powers it. She's looking even more and more suspicious with every piece of evidence I find. Maybe logic? Okay. This and this. It's stained with blood because someone, I'm suspecting Miss Cone, used it to hit the victim. Of course.
We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt. And we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon?
For sure! It could definitely do enough damage to kill someone.
You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet?
Yes, sir! Just got done a minute ago, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it.
There you have it.
Aha! Found in Scone's room, stained with the victim's blood.
So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects.
Yep. And also, fake confections and Scone's rule breaking.
So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Cone made a mockery of the rules. Yeah, guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now.
And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all this? Miss Cone's so-called creations were all fake plastic models covered in thick layer of whipped cream.
That's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Mrs. Cone herself.
Okay, you cheater. Speak. Oh! Temperature of the room?
Miss Cone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees?
'cause I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? And besides, being chill is no good for a girl. But you need the room to be cold so your quote-unquote confections don't melt. If I want to keep my fresh face complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. We ladies have to stay young, don't you know? How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know. Oh, question mark, question mark. Ah, okay. It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate. Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and made a whoopsie. Huh? Wait, she really didn't know that? Lack of knowledge. Scone doesn't seem to know basic facts about making confectionery. Why are you here then? Huh. World-class confectioner my foot. Huh. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Scone grows more mysterious by the minute. I think I got some logic stuff. Oh, she was doing research because she didn't know. Right. Miss Scone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created. And she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I picture a top or acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or is she not actually a confectioner at all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research. Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder? There's no way of saying so for certain just yet. But she is hiding something. That much I'm certain of. Okay. That's enough investigating for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found the murder weapon when he searched this room. Yeah, and yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bat, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone. How could you, Buddy Pumpkin? Stop staring at me like that. You are so suspicious. It appears Detective Bat is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Well, Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us? Oh, of course, dear. Where are we off to? To find Mr. Von Karma. Okay. Oh, there he is. December 24th, 8:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. There he is. Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you, if that's alright. Tush. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon. We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroo should no longer be the only person of interest. Ha! Nonsense!
It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain. How can he be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room. Of course I do, and I'll be delighted to share it with you. Oh! Okay. The murder weapon. Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. Huh? To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon, considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. Oh! So is your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room? It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact, based on my own investigation. You mean you have proof that he did so? I don't need any such thing. If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic. Okay. Maybe this? No evidence, huh? You sure? We see the blue cloth here, and then we have this. I don't know if I should present this and point out like look, there's a blue cloth there, or if I just show this. I'll go with this one.
Objection!
Objection! It's true that the murder weapon and the blood-stained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Scone's room? Was that, dearie? One of my lovely colorful cloths at the scene of the crime, you say? Ha! Luminous cloth? Nonsense! I see no light to speak of. It is not connected. I guess he doesn't know how it works. It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent. Come on, Von Karma, you're better than this. Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that. But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? Ha! The salt lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. And seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest. Greatly, Bentley, how could you? You're accusing me of all people? You are very suspicious. I'm not accusing you of anything just yet. Although you are very suspicious. But I do think you're hiding something.
That's not.
Ugh. Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Cone's room prior to the murder. Exactly. Tsk. Is something funny? Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. So sorry to have to break it to you. Huh? What does he mean? Tangaroo spotted them before the contest began and noted that the lamps and cloth contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping.
What?
Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost, as he had secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing, as he did, the only key. And as you know now, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have had everything I need to get Tangaroo convicted all along. Well, how does it feel? To have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom.
This can't be happening. Wait, all of hard work was for nothing? Miss Cone! Why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroo? Well, dear, Mannequin said that if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion. Mr. Karma said that? And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourself just a second ago.
Pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result. One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are 2, and only 2, sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon. 2? Yes, those of Delicious Cone and Samson Tangaroo. No others were found. Tangaroo used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in his Cone's room without first removing his fingerprints. At this rate, no one will ever need to testify. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure this guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait, what about the luminous clock that was left behind in Vincent Tangaroo's room? What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body. Ugh. I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying. Desk. No more pitiful objections? Then get out of my sight and close the door behind you.
Mr. E!
I'm not about just to give up. I see you mean to waste more of my time, but escort them off the premises, now! Hold it. This investigation is not over yet. Detective Bud, what is the meaning of this? Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half solved. 1 second. How old is Von Karma here? 49. Very old. How old was Francisca when DL6 happened? Francisca is 18 when Edgeworth is 25. I'll do the math later. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified. She's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for. We can discuss your lingering doubts at your leisure, detective. But wherever they might be, they're no business of the defenses.
Objection!
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad. What? This is the yet unidentified something that was left in Mr. Tangaro's room. Oh, this! Right, this thing.
Take that!
That's not so weird. There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaro's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer. It could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon. How do you know so much about the crime scene? Because I let them look around. You let the defense examine the scene, Bat? Are you out of your mind? I don't remember you telling me not to. Ugh, insolent worm! You would do well to remember this then, detective. That the results of your next salary review are up to me. Ugh. That's the gumshoe thing. Oh. Detective Bat's in trouble now, too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth. And you'd do well to remember that the results of your salary review are up to your performance here. Heh, a mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation. I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangaro. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creations.
Objection!
But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there's still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up. Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat?
Oh, stop it, Craigie! Stop it! Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delicia? I own up to nibbling poor Sammy Pupple, sweeties. What more do you want?
I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us. And you're still not telling us everything.
Oh, Craigie, stop it! Stop bullying me!
I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that?
I'm sorry, alright? I'm sorry, I'm just a silly muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say?
I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up. Don't worry, I think I have the evidence. But this isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? Coconut clear whipped cream.
Take that!
All of her quote-unquote confections are fake. Every single one of Miss Scone's creations break the rules of the contest. The offending items, the cloths and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as we have established. Not only those, everything. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself.
Objection!
But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? The entire fantastical world Miss Scone created, every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. No real world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Bat? Yup. Saw it with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes. Did we finally convince him? With her lies exposed like this, surely he can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Cone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects.
But no, dear, I'm not killer.
Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really? And why were you tampering with your rival's work?
Alright. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it. A pharmacist?
I can't blame him for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one?
Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And some people's sweets are the best, or so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final. How did you even get this far?
Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words.
That's it? That's the only reason you are here? Yes, dearie, and it was worth it. Some silly pants and sweeties are the tastiest treats I ever did eat.
And the finger marks. Were you the one wearing the gloves?
No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves.
Remember, Mrs. Cone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tangaro's other creations. I'd say that points to her not having worn any gloves.
Exactly, Lumpkin. Cranky Plegleg's not got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman.
Is your head filled with cream too?
Sorry, mannequins.
Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Cone, were Mr. Tangaro's works the only ones you sampled?
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chillywink's room for a little taste too.
You were in the victim's room too.
Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see.
Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead.
But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off to the side to cleanse my palate.
You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Cone? Indeed. What didn't she sample?
That's everything, I promise. Berry Pebbles, mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things.
As long as you've told us what you told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end. Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions. Ha! Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation. We'd like to accompany you all the same.
Okay. December 24th, 9 p.m. Contest venue, first room.
What in the... What is the meaning of this?
What? Oh. When we got to front... Oh, I guess it's...
current, like, older friend or so. When we got to first rooms, we saw nada. It was all gone, the whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest. A murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room. This case was a real pinch, and it was going to take some serious looting to get to the bottom of it all. Huh. To be continued. I am confused. I'm going to stop recording. Bon Karma's voice really kills my throat. So, I hope you liked it. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.